So here we are, Flow Design Architects. My name is Marco Severino, one of the principals at Flow. We felt the need to teach the community some of major elements and major points to understand in order when you buy a property or you're trying to renovate an existing house or you are trying to, when you buy a lot, what are some of the major points that you should understand. And we are going to call this video series Understanding Zoning Requirements. And some of those elements are important to understand because we get those questions all the time. We deal with hundreds of people every month, and these questions repeat themselves because they can be applied to any area in either Massachusetts or any states in the United States. So let's tackle some of these major components. Some elements that people like to ask us is what can I do in this law? One of the major things that people need to understand is the concept of zoning, zoning requirements. What is zoning? Zoning is basically a way of regulations that help towns control the way that the building environment is established. So when you understand what that concept means, you will understand how the city or the town is trying to regulate the use of buildings within the community. So for example, if you are in, let's say that we are here in Salem, Massachusetts. Let's say this is Salem. Salem as a city, Salem, Mass, because there are many Salems within United States. Let's say the city is subdividing an area to be commercial. Let's say this area is only commercial spaces, meaning restaurants, barber shops, bars, etc. Let's say they subdivide this area to be R1, residential 1, meaning it could be a single family, one family area. Let's say maybe this area is I, or institutional. Let's say there is you can fabricate spaces like commercials that deal with manufacturers. Let's say an area that companies can create floors and things like that. And let's say that this area is R2. R2 meaning, let's say, two family and etc. So by understanding in which area you are located, then you can understand your zoning requirements for that particular area. And it's important to understand that, because if you don't know that concept, then you don't understand what is possible in order for you to actually be able to develop a property or a law in that case. So that's the major thing that I like to teach people, and for them to understand, like, hey, what is your zoning district? Where are you located within that city, in that town? Every town is different. The city of Boston is subdivided in many neighborhoods. So each neighborhood has that zoning requirement. South Boston has a zoning requirement. East Boston, Dorchester, Hyde Park. So those are districts that has specific requirements and zoning requirements that you need to tackle. Those are major things. So when you understand that, that's number one. When you understand that, then you can go into your zoning requirements or bylaws. They're called bylaws. Let me use a different pen. Bylaws, which honestly, or zoning requirements. Zoning requirements. Each town have their own zoning requirements, so it's important for you to kind of be aware that if you live in Salem, Massachusetts, I can go online and research zoning requirement in Salem. And it will give you a PDF, or sometimes it's online, that you can download and you can have it as part of your home information package. And I highly advise people to, as owners, when you own a property, to download your zoning requirements, so you get a sense of, like, what can I do, because those questions we get them all the time as designers and architects. What can I do, and those are major things that you should have as an owner, is your bylaws or zoning requirements. Very, very important. So when you understand what zoning requirements are, in which district you are, then you can go into your bylaws and understand, okay, I have a law. What can I do with this, Marcos? And we get these questions all the time. Some major points that you need to understand is your zoning district, your setbacks, the FAR, or flow area ratio. I actually should write it down. Lot coverage, high restrictions. Those are major components that you, as a developer or somebody who owns a property, should understand in order to develop a property. So we're gonna get into detail with this video series, so you can feel that you're growing in understanding what is possible within the law that you have.